This is the Refuge Project.
Welcome to the Refuge Project. The Refuge Project is a place that we can have meaningful conversation in a safe place. We are your hosts. I am Pastor David. We got James.
Hey.
And we got a special guest, Brother Jimmy Silva.
What's going on?
What's the name of your ministry?
God Squad Street Ministry.
God Squad Street Ministry.
And we throw on the HTX to let people know we from Houston.
Yeah. There we go.
Houston, Texas.
Very good, very good. We're going to get into a little bit of one of the outreaches that he did here at our church last weekend? The weekend before.
2 weeks ago.
2 weeks ago, and it was good, so we asked him to stop by. But how things been going, man? Y'all been getting a little bit of this rain and stuff?
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
You should see my yard right now. It's actually, you should not see my yard right now. It looks really bad.
Yeah.
Last week was like, I hadn't cut it in a week, so it was time to do it. And then the rain started, and so now it's been like 2.5 or so weeks, and it looks rough.
Yeah.
And it's all muddy still because of the rain.
Can't do nothing about it now.
I can't do anything until it dries up.
And it's still about to rain the rest of this week.
Yep, and I'm going to work like the second half of the week. So it's probably going to be 3 weeks or so before it gets cut.
Hopefully all this stuff will dry up before the weekend.
Yeah.
So we'll see. I went and looked at some of our statistics, and we're now in 37 U.S. states and 28 countries.
Did you say 37?
37.
That's
man.
almost all of them.
Yeah, we're getting there.
We should get to 50.
Yeah, we're getting there. So hopefully, there was a couple new ones, but I forgot to write them down. I think Wisconsin came in.
Wisconsin,
yeah. I don't know who's up there. I think
the Wisconsin from the West, Wisconsin. Is that what you're saying?
Well, how do you say it?
It's like with an I.
Wisconsin.
It's
Wisconsin.
okay.
Wisconsin.
It's fine. Look, we can move on.
I know Pastor's going up there in a few weeks or something for a conference.
Yeah.
So maybe that's church related to that in Wisconsin.
West Side.
Yeah. Okay, it's fine.
I think, and then Michigan. I think Michigan slid in there if I'm remembering right. They're like kind of close, right?
Yeah, they're pretty close.
Up there in the Great Lakes.
I'm looking. Well, Michigan for sure. Wisconsin. I'm trying to decide if it's
above us. To the left, if you're looking at that.
Yeah, I think it's that one right there.
Yeah,
that's Green Bay, right?
Green Bay, Wisconsin.
Jeez.
Yeah, that's about right.
Yeah.
I'm pretty good with geography for the U.S. until you start getting north and northeast. When all the states are like really small and just kind of shoved in there.
Yeah.
It's kind of hit or miss. I'm like, I know New Hampshire is one of these.
New Hampshire's, Rhode Island, all of those little ones up there above New York.
Yeah. That's when I start falling off there.
Yeah. They all got accents that I can understand, so I'll just stay in the South.
Yeah.
You know.
Me too.
Yeah. That's how I like it. Yeah, man, everything's been going good. So I think we talked about this on a previous podcast, but the Tesla.
Yeah. Still liking it?
Still loving it. Yeah, loving it, man.
Getting better?
Yeah, getting better. So we finally got the charger at the house, and that just kind of like brought the ease down on
bringing it up to its full potential.
Yeah, because before, you'd have to stop at the supercharger and all that, but now you got the one at the house. But man, we're loving it. Yeah. A lot of looks. Never had a car before where people just like, oh, really, look at that one, you know. So we kind of modded ours out a little bit, so it makes it kind of stand out from the rest of the. Just
you modded it. What you do? You put some.
We put the spoiler on it and the front. The front. What do they call them? The lip or something, and mud flaps, and we wrapped the A-pillars and stuff like that. So it just kind of gives it its own little sporty look, other than just a plain white Tesla. So, yeah, I didn't know people thought Teslas was like some rich people's car.
Yeah, no, they definitely do.
They definitely do.
Yeah,
because I don't feel rich.
No, we all feel like you're rich.
I really don't feel like I'm rich. I have to watch my money just like everybody else, I guess. But I don't feel rich at all. But yeah, but it's been fun, man. It's been fun. I put it on like the fast mode. Mm-hmm. Wow.
Did you feel rich then?
I felt fast.
Thought he was Vin Diesel.
I know, right? It's like the seat popped up, and I just had to turn the electricity up.
You turned up the voltage.
Oh man.
But it's been fun. It's been real fun to drive it around without Sandra. Mm-hmm. Sandra, because it tells on you, like, because I'm an aggressive driver. Oh. Very aggressive, and but it tells on you. Like if you get too close to another car, it's like beep 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 beep, and like she's like freaking out.
Stuff.
Yeah, so I got to figure out how to turn that off when I'm driving.
Yeah, see, I do want some kind of Tesla something one of these days, but I hate all of that.
Yeah,
all that sensor whatever stuff.
But that's what makes it like cool though. Like,
that's not what makes it cool.
That gives it the ability to do the things that it does.
Yeah.
Like the self-driving and those things.
I grew up, my dad would always, like, if he had any piece of equipment that had that kind of safety feature stuff, he was always, like, disabling it. So
like the little thing on the lawnmower where you pulled it back?
Exactly. He had some mod on there where it was like, we had some lawnmower where I think you couldn't go in reverse unless you turned the blades off because they didn't want you to accidentally run over a child or something. But it wasn't practical for him when we're cutting the grass because a lot of times you got to back up real quick and then go
or get off and it kills itself.
Yeah, it's all that kind of stuff. So you check it on the internet. How do you disable it? And there's like some plug somewhere. You just take it off. So he was always doing that, and then like he's got a bad habit of never wearing his seatbelt. And you have a car that's beeps whenever you don't have it on, and so he would just let it beep, and it would drive the whole family crazy, especially my mom. And I remember at some point he ordered some little piece of plastic off of eBay, or I don't remember if it was eBay. But he ordered it off the internet because he's not the only one,
right? The fake buckle,
and it's like a fake buckle, so you can just plug it in, and so it turns off the alarm, and so it's always plugged in. He still didn't have it.
That truck he drives is really nobody's going to hurt him, right?
Yeah. No, that one, it's not beeping at you for your seatbelt. It's
beeps
not beeping
twice
at
and it's
you
done.
for anything.
That one's going to hurt somebody else. They run into that.
Yeah. So I know what you mean. We grew up just all of those little things trying to turn them off constantly. Yeah,
that's that was one of the things when because I can remember I was driving when the whole seatbelt law came in, and I was just like, I'm not wearing my seatbelt. And I would buckle it behind you, that way you could like throw the piece over you if you see a cop or something like that.
You did that?
I had a 73 Impala, so you had two pieces of the seatbelt. You had one that went around your waist, and the one that went around your chest had to latch on to the one around your waist.
Oh, wow. That seemed like a lot of trouble that I was going to go through. I didn't wear my seatbelt for the longest. I was, kind of rebelling against that, just like bikers rebel against helmets, which I really don't get because, like, you could really die, right?
I get it, but I get both sides.
Yeah.
Right. But I come up on this wreck one time, and I was coming home from church, and there was all these people, and there was this fire, and these two grandparents pulled out. They just picked their grandson up, and they pulled out in front of another car. They got T-boned. Well, it ran up and hit a tree, and the whole car bursted in fire and burned them, all three of them, to death. And it was the most disturbing thing that I ever witnessed because you could hear the screams of these people trapped in the car, and I was just like, man, that made me start wearing my seatbelt. And then the parents of the little boy came out and they were watching this fire. Man, I just brought the mood all down.
No, it's all right. Let's stay right here.
But it was impactful in my life for me to start wearing my seatbelt. So I don't know why I told that
story. We're all holding hands now. And,
somebody liked the incense.
We did, yeah. We did the lights in there. No, I get the motorcycle not wearing the helmet thing because, like, part of the allure to wearing or to ride the motorcycle is like the freedom, just do what I want. I don't care. Like, I get it. But then, of course, it makes way more sense to just wear the helmet.
Yeah, for sure.
I mean, if you look at it, how many times have we hurt ourselves on a regular bicycle?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I never wore a helmet on a bicycle.
And we never wear helmets.
Yeah.
You know, but
I'm also not going near as fast on my bicycle.
Exactly, but that's what I'm saying. If you hurt yourself not even going as fast.
Yeah.
Speaking of motorcycles, do you have recurring dreams?
Not in a while. I went through a phase when I was younger. Yeah.
I have the same reoccurring dream I have two of them actually for 20, 30 years.
Wow.
I have one that when I was a kid, we had water beds. And I started having this dream that I was in this big giant warehouse, and the whole warehouse was full of like a waterbed mattress, but there was like walkways around the edge of it. And so I'm walking around the edge of it, and you're just waiting the whole time for this thing to burst, and just like, you know. Oh, no. And so I had that dream, and then that's
the end of the dream?
That's the dream. Like I've had it for 30 years, probably 20, 30 years. And so I'm just like afraid that this thing is going to pop.
Yeah, you're living life thinking like it's about to end any second. It's all going to come.
And then my other one is that I own 3 motorcycles, but I only can always find 2 of them.
Oh, wow.
It's like the one I want to ride is never there. And then I'm always confused. Like, where's my other motorcycle? And I've never owned any motorcycles ever.
I love that these are like your nightmares.
Yeah.
He's got so many motorcycles, he can't find the one he wants. He's got the world's largest waterbed. He just is like afraid it's not going to
But I think it's the whole like waterbed came from, I think we talked about this. I don't know if we talked about it or we were somewhere else, but we talked about watching scary movies or something.
Friday.
Wasn't there was it Freddy that like popped up under the waterbed or whatever?
It was Nightmare on Elm Street.
That
was the one
right?
with Johnny Depp.
Okay.
That's the one. They put him up inside the waterbed, and then the waterbed just exploded.
Yeah. See, when I was a kid, I only watched that one scene. Like I've never seen a full movie of any like scary movie.
Yeah.
Never.
Wow.
And just never like
still you've never seen a full one?
And still like it just doesn't, my spirit in it don't just line up, so I just can't watch it. It just don't feel right. Not to say that that's like a super spiritual deal, you know what I'm saying? But it's just like just don't feel right to me, so I just don't watch them. But I did see that scene. And I think that I seen that scene because I was told as a kid there was like a naked girl or something in there too, so I went to see the naked girl.
She's in the waterbed.
She was in the waterbed, right?
She was.
And so I tuned in just to see that, and then now for the next 30 years I'm dreaming about this.
That's what you get.
That's what I get. That's what I'm telling you.
Man,
I can't get into scary movies either though,
Yeah.
because my thing is most of them are not good. Like the plot's horrible, the acting's probably not that good. It's just a lot of like suspenseful noise.
It's like that commercial where they're like, "Let's go, the car's running," and then they hide with all the chainsaws.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's most of them. Not all of them, but that's most of them. So most of them aren't that good. And then if they are good, I don't like being scared.
Yeah.
So it's just like, what am I doing? So occasionally I'll still see one like once every few years for whatever random. I'll be with a bunch of people that want to see it. But
I've watched them.
Generally, I'm not going to watch them.
I can watch scary movies. I mean, but I don't pick and say, "Oh, I'm gonna go watch this movie." I'm not too much of a movie person. But growing up, the only movie that really scared me, even to this day, I'm not gonna say it scares me. I just don't want to watch it because I know how real it can be. Was The Exorcist.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and all those ones.
I've seen clips of that one too.
My parents showed me that movie when I was 5, 6 years old.
5.
Never again. Like,
dang man, your parents were mean.
and
I was watching like Winnie the Pooh, and your parents are like, "You should come watch The Exorcist."
Well, it's because we did
really
a family
good one.
night. It was a family night. I wanted to do a family
You
night.
there with the dog watching The Exorcist?
Well, see, what happened was that I had told him, "Look, let's watch some movies," and my dad was like, "All right, that's cool." We rented some movies.
Your dad punked you, man.
Well, it was getting late, and I was like, "Man, we ain't finna watch these movies yet. What's going on?" Well, sure enough, they're like, "All right, come on out." I come out. Next thing you know, I'm looking at it, and they're like, "But you have to sit here." I'm like, all right, that's cool. So I
You
sat
sure
there.
you weren't in trouble or something?
And they might as well have just locked you up in the closet for a couple days.
They used to do that. But the only part that tripped me out, like that same night, I had a dream because in the movie, her head spins.
Oh yeah,
her head spins
She's
around.
throwing up on everybody.
Yeah, so
That's the classic.
they tell
scene.
me go to sleep now. Right after the movie, go to sleep. Okay, I can't even sleep, but we gonna try it. I went to sleep. All I remember was just having a dream where I can see her sitting on my dresser with her head spinning and she's laughing. Never watched it ever since then. People watch it, and I'm like, I watch Exorcist. I'm gonna leave.
I'm out. Yeah.
I'm out.
crazy.
I'm gone.
Any of those demon possessed anything?
Yeah, it's tough. I remember in the youth group, and I was in the youth group, we watched Arachnophobia.
I remember that.
And then I don't even remember whose house we was at. I feel like it was almost like Brian Bennett or somebody's house, and they had a pet raccoon. And it would just run around the house.
Wait. They had a pet raccoon? Sorry,
pet.
we just brushed over that. They had a pet raccoon.
A pet raccoon. Like it would just run around the house, just like a dog or a cat.
Okay, all right, go ahead.
And it would like we're watching this Arachnophobia, and it's about spiders and different things like that. Well, the raccoon would it like to play, so it would like get under the couch, and then it would like with its like paw, he would just like swipe at you. So you're right in the middle of this tense, scene, and then this raccoon just like
What trailer park were y'all at? Where were you? How did y'all even have a TV where you guys were at?
Why does it have to be a trailer park?
Because you had a pet raccoon, dude. That's like,
I think it was a trailer.
for sure that was. That raccoon just started showing up at the house, and they're like, "Well, can we keep it?" Like it was a stray dog or something. It's like, no, it lives here. And they just brought it in the house.
They probably moved in, and the raccoon was already there.
The raccoon lived there first.
It's a gently used trailer. They got a good deal on.
Oh man!
All right, that's cool, man.
That was part of the contract.
Yeah, must keep.
Oh man!
You just said it like it was normal. You've been playing patty cake with the raccoons, like everybody's doing that. Like, what? People hunt those and eat them.
I know.
Yeah.
There's this guy that used to live in Jacinto City around the corner from us. He had lots of raccoons. I don't even know why to this day why he had so many raccoons, but they were in cages and they were mean.
Yeah.
I was feeding it like one time, like a piece of my popsicle. Like I had popsicle and I was like feeding it, and the thing reached through and grabbed the whole popsicle and just like,
Give me that.
yeah, just like straight up punked me, and I cried all the way home.
Such a white trash story. Play with the raccoon popsicle.
He took my popsicle.
Yeah, you don't see that in the hood, do you?
Mommy, the raccoon took my popsicle. Just like,
I remember, man. I guess we moved from Jacinto City in third grade, and in third grade, my parents would let me go 2 blocks anyway. I mean, that back in the day was
2 blocks.
It was no big deal, except one way because that was the main street. That was Mercury, right? So running that, and I remember one time, but Mercury had they had the penny candies. You know, they had the mom and pop grocery store over there that you could trade in your bottles and stuff.
I remember that.
I know what you're talking about. There's
that.
a gas station right outside our neighborhood. We used to ride our bikes to get
and then the other one was a 7-Eleven, so it was just like commercialized, chain, and it just wasn't cool like Granny's was.
Yeah.
And so I would sneak over there to Granny's and go get me some penny candies and hang out and talk to the old man. I used to love talking to old people back in the day. And I remember one time I was riding my bike, and I darted right across Mercury Street and got hit by a car. Bam! And
Did you have your seatbelt and your helmet on?
Yeah, you didn't have.
They didn't have helmets for bikes back then. That car hit me hard, man, and I never fell off, but it skidded my bike 10 feet on the front of the
You
bumper.
stayed on?
Yes, the whole time. And then as soon as the car stopped, I just kept pedaling because I knew if I was gonna if I was gonna get in trouble if I got caught over there. So that lady must have freaked out because I took off and she was following me, trying to see if I was okay. And I was dipping through houses.
I'm fine, leave me alone.
Stranger danger.
Yeah, dude, I had a lot of people have that mentality. Like, they got so messed up in their childhood because they would always get in trouble for everything, where it's like you'd have a real dangerous situation happen, and you're not even worried about the danger. You're just like, oh, my mom's going to get me.
Yeah.
Like, I remember when I was, like, 16 or 17, I had that little Ford Ranger, and I was driving in the rain to go to the movies with some friends. But it was raining hard, and I have really bad tires on that truck. And I knew I had really bad tires, and they were so bad that pretty much any time it would rain, if I hit the smallest little puddle, I would hydroplane. Oh, wow. But, like, I knew, and so I'd be driving, I'd see ahead, and I would be like, okay, I'm going to slide up here. So I just drive real careful because I was too cheap to go buy new tires because
you're innocent.
Yeah, because that's me, 16 or whatever. So anyway, so I was driving real careful, right? I'm going like 50 on the freeway because it was storming hard, and I'm in the right lane. Everybody's going real slow, and we go around this turn, and I'm turning slightly with the turn, and then the road starts to straighten out again. And I'm trying to straighten out, and I realize my truck's still turning. And I'm like, and I'm going, oh no, I'm sliding. And I realized there was nothing and I was going like 50, right? So slow for the freeway, but pretty fast to be doing a 360. Yeah. And so I start spinning. So anyway, I realized like I'm going to have to just go in a circle because like there was no getting it back straight again.
Yeah.
So anyway, I end up doing a 360 on the freeway. And I'm sliding, and I somehow don't hit anything. I barely touch the rail with my back left bumper. Puts just a tiny little dent. And then I straighten out after I do a spin, and I'm straight facing an exit that just happened to be there. So I just went off the exit instead of trying to, like, whip back the other way and get on. So I get off the exit, and right at the end of the exit is a light. And I was just sitting there at the rain. I was like, what just happened? But the whole time I was spinning in the freeway, I was going, oh, I can't hit anything because if I hit something and make some damage, my parents are going to get so mad at me. Like, I was spinning out in the freeway. And I wasn't scared about being hurt at all. I was scared that I was going to cause some damage to the truck and I was going to get grounded or something.
Yeah.
Which is so stupid.
Yeah.
But that's how, like, a lot of people are. They're just getting hit by cars. Like, oh, no, what if my mom finds out?
I almost got away with that one. When the bruises turn from, like, that dark color to they started to get, like lighter and greener and stuff like that. Well, I had one, like, from my hip all the way down to my ankle. And I was like, I would hide it, and, and I was still young. I was, like, in second or third grade. Mm-hmm. And, your mom still, she'd check up on you when you're in the bathtub and stuff at that age. And I hid it until, like, she finally seen it. I was just like, dang it. And then you have, you have the choice at that point. Like, are you going to really tell her?
What bruise? I don't know what you're talking about.
And, of course, I did the right thing. I didn't tell her.
Yeah,
I made up some kind of crazy lie. Yeah. I sure did.
What was the lie?
I fell off my bike.
Yeah. You fell.
I didn't get hit by a car. As a matter of fact, I told her the story about 5 years ago, and she was like, oh, my gosh, David. I said, if you just only knew half the things.
A lot of bruises I hid for you.
All right, well, let's jump right into Culture Corner.
Go ahead, Jimmy. Go for it.
Bust the flow.
No?
All the guests have to rap.
Give me a present.
There it is. He's
all right. So we talked about Tesla earlier. Tesla is supposed to come out with the Tesla robot here in the next 6 to 8 months.
Wow.
So the Tesla robot is supposed to be human-like. So it's going to look like us. It's going to be about 5'8", 140 pounds. And Elon Musk wants to build this robot to be built by humans to live in a human world, right? Okay. And so he's really thinking about how, all we see as robots is like the movies like iRobot and different things like this where the robots get smarter than the humans and they take over the world. Well, he's trying to figure out a way to do it where they can't do that. So he's building them to like only be able to lift up like 150 pounds or something like that, and only able to like walk or run like 5 miles an hour. So you can like outrun it or beat it up or whatever.
I don't know, 150. That's you can lift up kids.
Yeah, you can lift up kids.
You lift me up. I'm a light dude. I'm small.
Yeah.
He could pick me up.
But, you know, if your daddy had to take control, he could.
Yeah,
You know what
yeah.
I'm saying? And so the reason for the robot is to do, like, dangerous, like, jobs, maybe like bomb squad and stuff like that.
That'd be cool.
And then doing, like, boring tasks, like, you know, repetitive work, you know, that they have to do over and over, you know, thousands of times in one day. But he eventually wants to get it there with his other project he's working in with Neuralink, to be able to be like the real George Jetson robot. What was do y'all remember
I know who you're talking about. I don't remember his name. It was like a butler.
Yeah, but was it a girl, right? Then she had the maid little thing on or something like that.
Yeah, wasn't there both?
Maybe there
wasn't there a guy one at some point?
There was a guy one at one point too.
Yeah. So his goal is
Maggie.
Maggie?
Was it Maggie?
I don't know.
If you told me, I wouldn't
look it
know.
up, too.
Yeah, go ahead and look it up. But his goal is to get it where it can do house chores, take care of your elderly parents.
Nice.
And then the ultimate goal was be able to talk to it and then be able to do the things that you tell it to do instead of having to be like some program that it runs, right? So you can go say, hey, you know,
Like
Maggie.
Hey Siri.
Yeah, exactly.
Rosie,
yeah, that's what it was. Rosie.
right, yeah.
Hey, Rosie, go to the HEB and give me this grocery list. And it's able to go and do that. So, I don't know. I think I would get one.
I bet you would. When's he say it's supposed to be ready?
The prototype should be ready at the end of this year or next year.
For the prototype?
For the prototype, yeah.
So are they going to have them for people to buy for their house, or are they going to try them out first, like at a grocery store or a restaurant? Because if that's the case, man, you're going to have a lot of crazy people on your hands.
I don't know,
losing their
but
jobs.
Yeah, I can see it like taking positions like, you know, working in food services and stuff like that, you know, because they already had that one in the UK that was like going to pick up, you know, trays in the kitchen and bring them out to tables and stuff like that. So I don't know. I think it's going to be pretty interesting. What I did see is it's going to be the price of a small car.
Okay. I can see
But
that.
if it lasts 20 years, that's not.
David's already planting the argument to Sandra right now.
Hey, if it can cook and clean, I think Sandra's going to be in.
Yeah, you think so?
So I don't know, man. I think that would be kind of cool. The only thing that I have an issue with is they are going to be taking jobs.
Yeah.
Right. But I think as the further and further we get along, like technology is going to be taking those jobs anyways.
Well, that is the technology.
Yeah.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah.
That's what technology is, right?
Keep
And
a
there's-
spray bottle of water with me to spray them. Say something.
Like a cat. Like a raccoon. We all know, like when you had the
Because there's a McDonald's, I think it is, in China maybe, that has like 2 people working in the whole store, and that's one to restock the computers and the robots and different things, and then one to work on them.
Oh, wow.
And then everything else is done, you know, by technology.
So what's going to happen when they say, I need to speak to your manager?
I am the manager.
Yeah. Yeah.
But you would think like that you won't have to need managers because it won't be wrong. Like robots only do what they're told to do.
Yeah, but it'll be wrong.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Technology,
It'll be wrong,
it's
man.
not perfect.
I mean, even if the tech's right, like you still have the human element of like the people placing their order and stuff. Like, I mean, I'll have all the time people say, "Hey, I want the chicken enchiladas," and I'll say, "Sure," and I'll bring them chicken enchiladas, and they'll go, "This isn't chicken quesadillas," and I go, "Of course not."
Yeah.
You know, and they're in their head. You know what I mean?
Because I always
so
forget.
if I'm a robot, what happens then? They say, "But you ordered the chicken enchiladas," and they're
Right.
what happened? What
Are
happened?
we going to have to turn them off to reboot them or something? Like
kind of like we
I'm
did
just
before.
saying, yeah.
I mean, maybe they glitch, and I don't know. It's going to be interesting, though.
That's
It's going to
crazy.
be interesting. We'll see. We'll see what happens. I think that this stuff is coming faster than we think.
Anybody thinks.
You know, and it's not linear. You know, this is the technology. It's like it goes faster. You know, the next 10 years from the first 10, it's going to improve so much more. So
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's going to be interesting.
robots are coming.
Yeah, and they Elon Musk said that they're their number one, what do you call it? Basically robot company in the world right now. Because he's saying that their Teslas are basically robots on wheels. Mm-hmm. So it's kind of weird on the self-driving stuff on the Tesla.
Yeah.
Very weird. Like you want to, you're like going over like a bridge on a curve, and it's just, it goes.
How much do you let it drive?
I like to let it drive as much as possible.
Yeah.
Sandra can't. Like if we're going over a bridge and a curve or whatever, she's like, put your hands on the wheel. Put your hands on the wheel. Then I was telling you, when we first got on the way home, I was just like, let's see how fast this thing can go.
Yeah.
Why not? It's brand new. This is the perfect time. Brand new tires, brand new everything,
It's the safest it's ever going to be.
Yeah, so I got up to 120 and she's freaking out. Mm-hmm. Like, slow down, slow down. Noah's in the back, 120, yeah! And my dad was just like, why are you doing 120? I said, because she won't let me do 130.
The car's doing it on itself.
Yeah. I didn't do a self-driving at 120. I actually had my hands on the wheel. But what's cool? One cool feature. The, what is it? When you just push it and it keeps that speed?
Cruise control.
Cruise control. So cruise control is really cool because cruise control now you put, set it at 60. Mm-hmm. It's going to go 60. It doesn't care if there's a car in front of you or not.
Yeah.
Right? Well, this one, you just set max speed. So you want max speed 75, it'll stay whatever it is. But if there's a car in front of you, it'll slow down. And then if that car gets up, then
it'll catch up on its own.
It'll catch up on it.
Cool.
But yeah. Because you know how many times you're on a trip, you have to turn it off and then turn it back on. Mm-hmm. It just goes. That's kind of probably the nicest feature that I found on it so far.
I like that a lot. I like the sound of that.
Yeah.
And then yesterday we went and ate, and then Luke had this, we had like the city pep rally because we're still in kind of a small town. The city pep rally, for the whole starting of the school year and all that, introducing all the different things. So we got there like 45 minutes early after we ate, and we just kicked back and watched the movie. And because it has there's no controls in it, just like an iPad looking deal. So we're just watching Shark Tank, for 45 minutes.
You didn't make him watch The Exorcist?
Nah, we didn't. I didn't put no in the seatbelt. Like, you gonna watch this?
You gotta watch this now.
Yeah.
Have fun at
Don't
the
be like my parents.
What you got, James?
All right, I got one. It's about a bear.
Okay. Not surprising.
It's a bear, but it's a bear from Turkey.
Does it live in the trailer?
No. Although I don't know, these people in these pictures, they probably live in. Okay, so here's the headline of the. Wow. So I'll just tell you the story.
Have all their teeth?
Man. Yeah. So it's this brown bear cub. So it's a baby bear, and is in Turkey, and so apparently in Turkey they have this honey that they make. That's called it's nicknamed Mad Honey.
Mad Honey.
I'm not seeing the rare whatever.
Killer bees.
Anyway, it's honey that they have hallucinogens in the honey. And I don't know what they use it for, other than I guess just trip when they feel like it.
They live in the trailer park,
but
with the bear.
But so these bears are like roaming through this little town, and he sees some honey. And he eats the whole jar of honey.
Oh.
And
he starts tripping.
Yeah, so exactly. So apparently when they do actually take this honey, they're supposed to take like a little teaspoon or something. But this bear, ate the whole jar of honey because why wouldn't?
Why wouldn't you?
For real.
And so then all the people in the town, they start seeing this bear. It's laying around, and they took videos of it. I'll show you guys a picture. He very much looks like he has something going on.
He's like, "What up, girl?
Just
get over here."
Out of its mind, roaming around, laying around.
What are he's thinking?
He's probably
I don't know.
Hey.
I would love.
Hey.
I would love to see what that bear is doing. And anyway,
where's he at? Is he in the back of an old pickup truck?
Yeah, it's in Turkey, dude. Because they had to rescue the bear because it's out of its mind. It had so much. So they had to take the bear, put it in some captivity for like a week or two.
They put him in the mental institution until he got cleared.
He went to rehab.
And then eventually they let it back out, but he was the talk of the town for a while. See, here's a picture of it in captivity.
Oh, he's good there.
Recovering.
Why does that bear look so skinny? They got skinny
because
bears
it's
over
from
there.
Turkey, so they're different. It's not like an Alaskan grizzly bear. Also, this is just a cub. It's a small little.
Yeah. See, even in America, the bears are big.
They're big out here.
Well, even just in like the difference between like an Alaskan grizzly bear and like a Colorado grizzly bear,
They're different.
totally different. It's so much bigger. Everything's bigger in Texas. Everything's bigger in Alaska.
Yeah.
My question is with that bear I'm just speaking because I've known people that have taken hallucinant stuff. I've taken them myself, but I've known people that have taken more than what they're supposed to, and they've been sober from it for over 20-some years. But I have a buddy that took acid.
Back in the 70s or something.
This was back like in the 90s. He took acid, like in the 80s or 90s.
He thinks we're like 100.
Yeah.
Back in the 40s and the 1800s.
The 1800s.
During the Great Depression.
Yeah, was this before or after the war?
But the dude still he still hallucinates.
Yeah, I know.
He sees traces, like, and hasn't taken it in years, but his brain is just fried to where he sees traces. You move your hand, and he sees the effect of your whole hand moving. Like,
I used to know this guy that he was the same way. He has to take medicine to keep him like here.
That makes sense. This bear is probably going to be messed up because he had a lot of honey.
What if he like he'll eat honey again?
I don't know. He'll probably either never eat it again or only wants honey.
He's gonna be like them crackheads that's out there looking for it all the time.
You seen those monkeys who like to get drunk?
Yeah,
you seen those ones? Yeah, and they just drink beer all the time. Wow, it's a thing. Wow. They'll like rob villages and steal their alcohol. It's a real thing.
So like that one Cambodia kid, he was like 8 and he was like 200 pounds and he would just smoke cigarettes all day long. Oh, wow. Y'all remember him?
No, I
ain't never seen him.
Yeah, he went like viral on YouTube.
So bad.
And it was like to the point where like people would come through the town just to see him sit there and smoke cigarettes.
Take a photo with him.
And all day he would just light one off for another. And it was like a tourist deal.
Wow. Yeah, he was probably making $20 a photo or something.
Well, his parents were.
Yeah.
And he was so overweight, man. And he would just like sit there and smoke cigarettes all day. And then like the UN, United Nations got involved and like went and got him because he would like freak out if you took his cigarettes away from him.
Nicotine got hooked on
it. Got hooked on it. So they went and got him and supposedly, I haven't seen the update, but supposedly they went and got him to try to get him off the nicotine.
Sounds like he's dead. It sounds like that's
overweight,
probably how that story ends.
And smoking.
Sorry, guy from.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to look it up. We'll give you a report on him.
Yeah, it doesn't. The outlook doesn't look good. From that.
No. Let's not bring the podcast back now.
I like being in this place. Anyway, that's my story, man. You got to look out. You got to look out.
Watch the honey.
Watch the honey. My sister gave me some honey the other day. You know they got on them bees. All them bees up in the country. It's a thing. They collected a bunch of honey from them like a week or so ago.
Really?
And it's good honey. I made a latte
with
latte. Just a little bit of hazelnut and some of their fresh local organic honey. And it was a nice latte.
So who has the bees?
Eric and Rayanne. They got
really?
Because they got a little land up
I didn't know they had bees on their land.
Yeah. Well, I think it's on their land. Or
it
might be on one of Eric's relatives or something. I don't remember. But they got bees.
There's bees.
Yeah, Eric came to church the other day, and he was like collecting honey and stuff, and the bees got all in his gloves and got in because you wear the suit or whatever, but some they slip through the cracks or whatever, and so his hands are all swollen. He had all the bees, But the honey was good, so
it was worth it
us.
It
was. Yeah. I didn't get a single bee sting out of it, but I had a nice latte, and I got lots of honey left. Make some tea and stuff with it. It's gonna be good.
Well, that's awesome. That's awesome.
That's cool.
That's good. Shout out to Miranda and
what's his name?
Y'all know I'm not good on the spot. Austin.
I'm over here. An A.
Austin. I'm sorry, Austin. You know I love you, brother. We talked about him on a couple podcasts ago, and they were like, "Hey, we listen. We're still out here listening." So They still listen out there from Centerville, Texas, bringing
good.
the Refuge Project to the country.
Come on.
To the country. So we love them guys. All right, I got a song for you guys today. Andrew Rip, Fill My Cup.
I've been walking to a city I cannot see, through the depths of the valley where the sun can't reach. Yeah, I've been high, I've been low, I've been looking for the river that could fill my soul. Been walking to a city I cannot see. Yeah, fill my cup, Lord, run it over. Give me love, give me joy, give me peace. Fill my cup, Lord, run it over. I am your child in need, Lord, I need you. Fill my cup. Been walking over lies standing in my way. Let them say what they want, I don't want what they say. I was born far from home, but I've been thriving in the wonder of the great unknown. Cause I'm drinking from a well from another place. Yeah, fill my cup, Lord, run it over. Give me love, give me joy, give me peace. Fill my cup, Lord.
Andrew Rip, Fill My Cup, Lord. That's good. We should all be living out of overflow. If we're not living out of overflow, then we're not able to help others. And I think that's a cool way to just really kind of slide into the next part of the podcast. That's why we brought Brother Jimmy over here. Brother Jimmy inspires me, man, and I tell him all the time, and I hope he realized that I mean it. But I hear him on the phone in there calling other brothers in Christ and holding them accountable, and he's never sitting back waiting for things to get done. He's always on the front line at making things happen and really just trying to impact the community as best that he can with a little that he has. And I think that a lot of people in ministry these days, they want these big giant productions, and they need all this money to do the outreach they want to have the lights and the big sounds and the different things like that. And Brother Jimmy knows how to take what he has and unite people that he has in his community and come together and go out and minister to people. Not only the people on the streets, but just a couple of weeks ago, we had a back to school thing here at the church, and man, I wanted to be there so bad. I had an emergency. I had a water pipe break in my house.
I thought you were going to say water beds.
Water bed. So I wasn't able to make it, but the church bought him some backpacks, but I wasn't good enough. He just gathered the people in the community, and people started donating school supplies, and then he got another group that was giving free haircuts and all kinds of stuff, and fed him food and just everything that he could do. So I wanted to bring him and talk about it a little bit. So where did you come up with the idea? Or is this something you've been doing and we're just bringing it here?
It's something that we've been doing. The ministry, we've been doing the back to school outreach for, this is our 6th year doing it.
Oh, wow.
This is the first year that we're doing it at the church. Other than that, I'm from the streets. I grew up in these streets. I know what it's like not to have nothing. I know what it's like for people to bring you down. When you're already down, I know what it's like for them to kick you. And I just like going back to the neighborhoods that basically people don't want to go to. The neighborhoods where people are afraid or they think something bad's going to happen. Those are the neighborhoods I go to. So we usually do them in parks or go to a neighborhood, and we just do what we do out there. We just glorify God and bring them Jesus. That's it.
Yeah. One of the things that I thought was just really awesome is just like last week you were showing me the pictures and stuff that were taken. How many backpacks did we give away?
184 backpacks with school supplies.
With school supplies in them. Yeah. And that's just, our community right here around the church. We're trying to help impact, the streets right here around our church in the community. And I think we had 40, 50 haircuts that we did.
Yeah, it was 45 haircuts.
45 haircuts.
It wasn't even just kids that were getting it. We had parents that were getting haircuts. That it's like I told Pastor, I was like, man, I showed him the picture of a little girl, and I was like, look, everything is for that smile. Mm-hmm. In the front of the church, we have all these windows. I was watching kids as they were coming out, looking at their reflection in the mirror, in the windows and everything. They're like, man, looking at themselves like they're happy. And for me, that's what it's about. It's about making them happy, pointing them to the cross, and let them know not every believer in Christ, not every Christian is what they expect. Because Christians, some of us get a bad name. They expect us to wear a suit and tie. They expect us to, to speak a certain way. If y'all could see me, man, I'm none of that. Yeah. I'm tatted up. I got tattoos on my neck all the way down to my feet. Mm-hmm. You could see me. When you look at me, you're going to see hood. You're going to see streets, because that's what I am. That's what I was. I was street, And I
think a lot of times when we come from a certain place, and I'm guilty of it somewhat, that you try to be something that you don't want to be before, right?
Yeah.
And then I think that it's good to really turn from some of that stuff, but at the same time, man, like for you, people can look at you and go, "Oh yeah, I can do this and I can look like this," and it gives them hope, to be able to come to church with tattoos and come to church with, Houston tattooed on the side of their head or whatever it may be, and still experience God in a real way.
Yeah, God doesn't look at he doesn't look at your tattoos. He doesn't look at what race you are. He doesn't look at none of that. All God really wants is your heart. Yeah. And if you have a heart that you're willing to give to God, He's willing to accept you just the way you are. And I let people know, you don't have to be perfect. If you're trying to be perfect before you come to church, before you come to Christ, you're already messing it up, because you ain't never going to be perfect.
Yeah.
It's like when I used to sell dope out there in the streets. I used to tell people, I got this, I got that. Oh, well, so-and-so has this too. I'm like, yeah, but I got that good. Don't knock it till you try it. And I basically give them the same thing. And I tell them, look, man, come to church. Oh, well, I got to be this. Man, look, hey, don't knock it till you try it.
Yeah.
And I tell a lot of guys that I grew up with, man, look, give the church 6 months. Give God 6 months. I'm not telling you to get involved with everything. Come on a Wednesday service. Come on a Sunday service. Just do that and let God work upon you. Within 6 months, I promise you, no one's going to have to tell you, hey, I want you to come and help me. You're going to be getting involved. You're going to be like, oh, well, I'm interested in that. What do I got to do? Who do I got to talk to? What do you need me to do? When you start doing it for self, it's better. Because when you're doing it to please everybody else, because I know people that, when I first came to church, it was, I'm going to do this because I want to do it for my wife. I want to do it for my kids. It really wasn't for me.
Yeah.
And it wasn't working out the way I wanted it to, or at least the way I expected it to. But when I got tired and I'm not going to do it for my wife. I'm not going to do it for my kids. I'm going to do it for me because I need to do it. And by my kids and my wife seeing me do it, it's going to be that ripple effect. It's going to go down to them, and they're going to wonder why Dad is doing this now.
Yeah.
Why does he want to go to church? Why does he want to speak to God? And that's going to get them pulled up into where eventually, on God's timing, they will be where God needs them to be.
That's right. That's why the Bible says that as men that we have to be the head of their household, right?
Yeah.
And it's not to bark orders down and stand over our wives and give them orders, but it's to lead. You know, we have to lead. Talk to me about little Jimmy. When little Jimmy was growing up, and you didn't have the church in your neighborhood to give you a backpack and a haircut. Talk about, the confidence that you would have had more, if you was able to get that fresh cut and some new shoes and maybe a backpack and go to school. Other than, what you was telling me one time that y'all couldn't afford a haircut, so your dad would just shave your head.
Yeah. Get my head shaved. If not, I grew up on the southeast side of Houston. Like, it was a rough area. Every city has rough areas, and every neighborhood is a rough neighborhood, depending on how you handle it. But all the shoes that I had, it was either from Kmart, because my mom worked at Kmart, or if not...
You could get them Shacks back in the day at
Yeah,
Kmart.
you could get them Shacks.
Yeah.
Even Converse.
Yeah.
Back in the days, Converse weren't as expensive as they are now.
We could get them $27. 27, and that was a lot of money for a shoe back in the day.
Yeah, well,
for us at least.
Back in the days at Wieners, you could get them from Wieners for
my
$10,
store, bro. Wieners is my store,
bro. You would get them from Wieners for $10 for a pair of Converse. Now they're like 40, 50 something, 60 something.
Converse
bucks.
is ridiculous now.
Yeah, so I know what it's like not having. I know what it's like when people are picking on you because you can't afford the new clothes, the new shoes, you can't afford a haircut. I know what it's like, and it makes you feel worthless because I know what it pushed me to do. Knowing that I grew up where our family was poor, we couldn't afford things, I pushed myself to buy them, so I sold dope. I did a lot of stuff so I could be part of the cool crowd.
Yeah.
To where no one's going to pick on me. It was like, all right, let's do this. I'm going to sell dope and I'm going to get my money. The first expensive pair of shoes that I bought myself, I must have been 11 years old. I bought it off of dope money.
Yeah.
Wow.
I bought me a pair of Jordans. And then after that, it was like my little sister was like, oh, you got J's? I said, I got you too, sis. Don't worry about it. Went and bought her shoes.
Yeah.
So from the age of 11, I was taking care of my little sister, just buying her school supplies, everything she needed. I was buying it.
Right, and at that point, like for you, the confidence was coming from the streets.
Yeah,
so we have the ability to take that confidence and show that confidence coming from Christ when we bring these kids in and giving them their haircuts and I seen some of those pictures. Those kids they was showing that grill from cheek to cheek.
Yep.
Man, they was just so proud to have that fresh haircut. I can remember going to school and we didn't have a lot. I remember mowing grass all summer long to buy me a pair of Nike Flights. And I thought that I was the coolest kid. Even though that there was plenty of other kids in my school that had nicer things than me. But man, just having that fresh pair of kicks on and a fresh haircut, I thought I was the coolest cat in the neighborhood. Just having that little bit of extra confidence when the whole world feels like it's coming in around you, and just kind of putting that smile on your face and giving you a kickstart to go to school.
It's that self-esteem. Like, you're gonna react the way you carry yourself. So. That's why I tell my son all the time, I don't care what anybody says. I don't care what anybody does. I need you to be you. Don't follow this crowd because you want to be cool. They ain't got nothing to do with anything. I know what it's like following a cool crowd, and then at the end of the day, it's like, where these people at now?
You're empty.
Yeah, you're looking for them.
Yeah.
And I learned that people start hanging around with people because they want to get something from them. It benefits them for certain things.
That's good.
And it's like I tell my son, look, be you. Be the kid that God's called you to be. If you have friends that are already at that age where they're like, oh, I'm a teenager now, I'm going to start talking to girls. If that's not your thing, don't do it.
Yeah.
Like, don't get peer pressured into doing something that you're not ready to do, because even with that, it's a snowball effect.
Yeah.
You get pressured to doing this. It's like when my dad, everybody tells me, like, bro, like, you got a lot of kids. Yeah, I do got a lot of kids.
Me too.
But the main reason why, like, one thing that pushed me to start looking for girls or for women was because of my dad. My dad, he's old school Mexican. It's like, I'm a man, and that's it. And it's just happened one day. He's drinking. with my uncles and his buddies, and they start, oh, well, does Jimmy have a girlfriend? I'm like, man, I ain't got time for girls. Like, I see the drama. Mm-hmm. But then I hear my dad telling me, oh, you're gay, you're this, you're that. And then his buddies and my uncle start getting involved. And I'm like, man, hold up. Like, I'm not. Right. So I felt I had to prove to them I'm not what they're telling me I am. Mm. And it's just, I started sleeping around. First time I had sex, I was 13.
Wow.
And after that, it was a wrap.
And I think that goes on to like more than just, sexual type stuff. You know, when people are around you are telling you certain things, like you said, you try to prove them wrong. I tell my kids, Luke gets a lot of stuff from, family members. Man, you a junior in high school and you ain't got a girlfriend yet. I sat down Luke when he's going into high school. I'm like, listen, why do you date girls? Mm-hmm. The reason I dated, is because peer pressure. But the only reason you really need a date is to have a wife. Yeah. Like all the other stuff, like if all it's doing is costing you money and costing you time, you could be hanging with your boys and all the other things. If you ain't ready to get married, let's not date. Exactly. Like go out there and have fun and do the things that you want to do, because there's going to be time in your life where you're going to be locked down, you're going to have a family, you're going to have kids. That's for that time. Yeah. The time now was for you to go out there and experience life. Get outside your neighborhood. See what the world is about,
I mean, not only that, is you put yourself in a position where you start having feelings for someone that's not serious as you are. And at the end, who's the one getting hurt? Yeah. And it's everything's a snowball effect. Everything is. I mean, you get hurt off a relationship. You find out, she doesn't feel about me the same way I feel about her. You start trying to prove to her, like, oh, you need to love me. Yeah. I love you because of this. Why don't you love me because of that? And then that's when things start getting crazy, where it's, I'm going to hurt myself. Yeah. I'm gonna do this. I'm going to drink. I'm going to pop these pills. That's just, it's too much.
Well, that's one of the reasons I left the church, is because I had a high school sweetheart and we had plans to get married and have kids and all these things. And, man, I'm in 10th, 11th grade. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like, I had no business of thinking about what I was going to do after college. Yeah. And here I am talking about that. She's buying baby bottles and putting names on them and stuff, just like stupid stuff.
She know you grew up playing with raccoons?
Did she know that? On a waterbed?
And then when it all went down, I'm over here blaming God.
Yeah, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, well, like God, 16. This is supposed to be, this is supposed to be the one. And then, well, if that's the kind of God you are, deuce, exactly. I'm out. Yeah. And over some childish relationship, and we always find something else to blame, and then we end up in these crises in our life, you know? So
start struggling, start doing all kinds of stuff, and next thing you know, it's like I tell people, because I do a Bible study on Thursdays at a Denny's. I tell the guys, why do you sacrifice more than what you have to? And I explain to them, at the end of the day, we're going to have to sacrifice. The word says, deny yourself and pick up your cross daily. It's a daily battle. But we try to prove to God and other people, well, this is what I want to do. This is what I want to be. And you're sacrificing more than what you have to. And it's like I take them in the Bible and I tell them about Jonah. Be obedient. Just listen. God said to go. What'd he do? He turned around and went the opposite way. And now he's having to sacrifice by going through all this other stuff, getting in this belly, then still getting spit out. And it's like, where'd you end up? Where you needed to be.
Bible said he went down the chopper, went down to the side of the ocean, went down to the bottom of the ocean, went down to the belly of the well. Boy kept going down off bad decisions.
Exactly.
And it said down. I think 5 or 6 times in that story, like how he kept going down and down. And I'm going to talk about this tomorrow night. And where I'm going to be teaching. It's Esau and Jacob, right? Mm-hmm. Jacob had a calling on his life, right? Yeah. We have callings on our life, but the problem is when we try to take over the calling, right? When we try to direct the calling in our life instead of letting God direct that calling. We want to just go, hey, I need it now. I want to do it now. Because we have this thing inside of us that gives us the drive to do it, but who's steering the drive?
Exactly.
Right? Who's directing those things? And if we get in the way, we can't have a God-centered life when we're selfish.
Come on.
When we're doing things out of our own will.
Yeah.
It's because that we have a calling, but at the same time, man, we need to pump the brakes a little bit and see when and how fast and where God is pushing us to. And Jacob kept just saying, hey, I'm going to try to get there. It doesn't matter if I have to hurt my father. It doesn't matter if I have to hurt my brother. It doesn't matter if I have to hurt any of those things. I'm going to get there on top, even if God hasn't called me to get there yet. And then we get to a place that we're there and we're not prepared for.
Yeah, and that's what I was going to say. It's preparation. A lot of times God gives us a vision, or we can hear his voice telling us, this is what you're going to do. But a lot of times it doesn't mean right then and there, at that split second, go do it. You have to prepare yourself. For everything that you do in life, you have to prepare yourself.
David, right, in the Bible.
Exactly.
I mean, that was just this perfect example.
You just have to prepare yourself. A lot of times God will give you a vision and you have to prepare for what's about to happen. Like going back to the back to school outreach. This is the first time I'm doing it at the church. And I was like, okay, I'm going to do this. I'm going to do it a different way. So I was like, I got all the information for the tax exam, everything else. I go to these stores and they're looking at me like, you go to the church? What do you want this stuff for? I mean, I even had a manager tell me like, yeah, this paper, my niece can do it over the computer.
Oh, wow.
I'm like, all right, that's cool. So I was prepared for whatever was going to happen. I was trying to do it a certain way, but God's like, go back to what you know. So what did I do? I wasn't getting it from the stores and everything. So I was like, all right, I'm going to hit up a few people I know. And I'm like, hey, I need you to go get some binders. I need you to get folders. I need you to get crayons. I need you to get this. Sure enough, everything came through. But we just had to be prepared. I mean, I had to prepare myself to be here all day. We're getting prepared for what? A few months?
Yeah.
A few months. And, it was preparation. You have to prepare yourself for whatever's going to happen. The word says be ready in season and out of season. You have to prepare.
Yeah, and it would have been easy for you to go and then go to a Walmart and they go, here's everything that you need.
Yeah.
And they supply this one-stop shop. They give you 1,000 of each of whatever you want, right? But what did that do for the people around you? Nothing. Mm-mm. Because you did the way you did it, and the way it came out is now you're teaching those people to sow into good soil. Yeah. And now they get to see the fruit of that. They get to see those smiles as that little girl walked down. They get to see that little boy and his mom getting a haircut. Yeah. They get to see that fruit. And it's just like giving to missionaries. We can't all be missionaries, but we can give a little piece every month. Invest into that good soil. So it actually works out better that way.
Yeah, I mean, with me, I'm not a baller. I ain't got no money like that to where I can just throw out. I live on a budget. I got a big family. Yeah, I got a big family that I take care of, but we just got to let God be God.
That's what inspired me, because you probably don't even realize this, but I was thinking one day, man, how does Jimmy do all this? So I brought him in here and I was just talking, and I'm just like, so how do you go and like give these packs to the homeless and stuff? What do you call them? Put them on the spot. Yeah, it's the stuff that has like the hygiene packs. The hygiene packs. And I'm just like, what do you like? How do you do this? And he was just like, man, me and my wife just buy them. And I'm just like, oh. It's for real. Yeah. This is not one of those things, hey, look at me, I'm going and feeding the homeless. Yeah. And then I'm stopping by over to somebody, they give me all this stuff. Like, you're invested in, the money that a little bit that you have extra. And maybe sometimes it's not even you have extra. Yeah, you're sacrificing in other places.
We sacrifice because this is what God wants us to do. At the end of the day, God always provides. He always provides. Even if it's at that last minute, that last second, God always provides. I mean, my whole thing is, yes, the pat on the backs are good. Everybody needs a pat on the back every now and then. But I don't boast about what we do. Like, it's like I tell a lot of people, there's a lot of big ministries out here. No one knows of us. But if you go out there to the streets and you speak to the homeless,
They know.
and you speak to the ones, oh, they know who we are.
Yeah.
It's like my nephew told me, he's like, bro, he goes, I got locked up probably like 2 months ago. Like, I got locked up. I got out of county and I was looking for a phone. He was like, nobody would let me borrow my phone. He's like, for some reason, I started tripping, like, why did I yell this? He goes, I yelled out God Squad. He goes, I was frustrated. I couldn't get a phone. He goes, I just yelled out God Squad. And I was like, why did I say that? He goes, sure enough, 4 homeless guys came out. And they're like, what you know about God Squad? Oh, well, Jimmy's my uncle, this and that. Okay, well, he's your uncle. We got you. They let him borrow their phones. They broke bread. They were eating. They broke bread with him.
Wow.
They told him, hey, sit down right here and wait for your ride right here. And he's like, well, why y'all doing this? Like, your uncle does this every month with us.
Yeah.
He's been doing it for over 4 years, been doing it. And like, the same love he gives us is the same love we want to give you. And they're like, but it's not love from him. It's the love of Christ that he's given us.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's why I say, I reach out to a lot of ministries. I reach out to a lot of churches, and I tell them, look, we're going to do this out here in this neighborhood. Y'all come out. Y'all come out, because not everybody can make it to my church. Not everybody has a vehicle. Honest truth, not everybody's meant to come to my church. To me, my church is the most beautiful place in the world. This is where I get fed at. To other people, they may not like it.
Right.
So I tell different churches, y'all come out, get involved. We need to plug them into a church. Our whole job out there is to point them to the cross.
Yeah.
It's not to bring them over here and for everybody, oh, look, everybody, I brought these 2 guys over here. We help them do this. Man, glory goes to God. Like, doing street ministry, the last 6 months, we're able to help about 8 to 10 military vets get off the street.
Wow.
You know, we got families that go out there. There's kids that go out there. But nobody sees it because they choose not to be around those areas.
Yeah.
You know, it's when God told me to start doing ministry, I'm like, God, I can't go out there. Like, man, the women are out there. The drugs are out there. Like, I'm going to fall. But God prepared me. He prepared me, and I told God, okay, you want me to go? Send me to the neighborhoods nobody wants. Send me to people that nobody wants. The places where people want to do 80 and pass up this neighborhood, that's the neighborhoods that I stop at. I get out and I walk.
Yeah.
You know, it's just really showing them love, and mainly for the kids. For me, I got a big heart for the kids, because I don't want to see nobody grow up the way I grew up. I don't want to see nobody getting locked up at the age of 13.
Right.
Looking at 25 to life.
Yeah.
I don't want nobody doing that. I don't want nobody going through all this drama that I went through, because I know how it messed up my head. And I know the things that I was capable of doing when I was living in the world. You know, that's why I tell people, man, the devil knew what he had when he had me. He knew the stuff I was capable of doing. He knew I didn't care. Right. I was willing to do whatever just to prove to everybody, like, oh, I'm the baddest dude around. And it's like I tell people, man, people feared me. And it's not because my height, because I'm telling y'all, man, I'm only 5'3", 5'4". I'm a small dude. But the level I was willing to go to, a lot of people weren't up on that level with me. You know, and I try to catch the youth at a young age to where the world doesn't influence them in a bad way, to where I can at least drop a seed to where Christ can start working up in that person. And I do understand that a lot of times I'm not meant to take care of it and nurture it and prune it and do everything. My job, I just drop seeds. I give the word of God, and I let God guide them where they need to go. If they're meant to come here, well, praise God, let's get it.
Yeah, and that's being kingdom minded, right? Because it would be easy for me to tell somebody, say I'm in say the Southwest side, and I'm out there doing ministry. Hey man, I got a great church. Man, that's not logistically, that's not a good thing for them. Like, how often are they going to make it from the southwest side to Elam Church?
Yeah.
But we have to be able to find communities that they can plug into right where they are, and let those local churches, help them, And I think it's selfish sometimes when we're like, oh man, we got to have everybody in our church, which is not the case, man. We have to be able to be kingdom minded and be bigger than our church.
Exactly.
And when you do that, then you can really start seeing, God really moved in your ministry. Leave us with one thing that you want everybody to know before we get off of here.
I just give God an opportunity. The same way you give everything else opportunities in the world, give that opportunity to God. Let God do what he needs to do, and God will reveal what it is that he needs to reveal to you. Been doing this for 10 years, doing my walk, and God's still revealing things to me, still letting me know. And a lot of times when you go do things for God, trust me, it's not going to be what you expect it to be. A lot of times you tell God, I'm going to do this, but God's going to send you somewhere else to do something else, and you can't be mad. Be obedient. Your obedience goes a long way. Obedience is very, very important. When you're obedient to God, God will open up them doors that you need open, not the ones you want. And we got to get self out of the situation. Remember, everything you do, is it a good idea or is it a God idea? There's a difference between a good idea and a God idea. A good idea is more self. A God idea is straight God. So, just really reach out to the young ones. That's the next generation. That's the one that those are the ones we got to mold. Those are the ones that are going to help us out the situations we're in. Because I ain't getting no younger. I'm getting older. So I'm here to help the kids in any kind of way possible. Really anybody. But just really, man, just give it to God. Let God do his thing.
That's good. You said something a while ago, and then we'll close with this. You said something a while ago about the devil knew what he had.
Yeah.
And the devil does know what he has, and that's why he fights so hard to keep it. Mm-hmm. Because that same passion and that same drive and that same, mentality that you had to out there on them streets, we need that on this side too.
Yeah.
We need that same drive. We need that same personalities to come on the kingdom side to do the same things, to go and impact neighborhoods, but from a different angle. Amen. Right? Instead of drugs and alcohol and women and all those things, that let them know about Jesus.
Yeah, only other than that, just let me say one thing. Just because it's street ministry, that don't mean that everybody in that neighborhood are addicted to drugs.
Right. That's a good point.
Or in a bad state of mind or anything. You got a lot of people up in them neighborhoods that need to hear testimonies from people that grew up in the church, that have no idea what it's like being incarcerated or addicted to drugs or alcohol. You have a lot of them that live in those neighborhoods. So if you have an opportunity to do street ministry with somebody, take advantage of it. Do it. For all you know, that might be where God wants you at.
That's good.
That's it.
All right, man. Well, thanks for coming by, Jimmy, and we appreciate it. And we love you.
This is the Refuge Project.